All right, the movement we're gonna do right now is the bear crawl. So the bear crawl is absolutely one of my favorites. And with those of you who have tight hamstrings and glutes, this is a great one and a must. So I start off first in a strong A-frame. When you get an A-frame, I'm really thinking about something some people call it downward dog. I'm really thinking about pushing back, really try to push my glutes up and back, straightening out my legs, and getting my heels on the ground if I can. At the same time, I'm trying to get my head, shoulder, spine, and hip in line. So I really push back against my shoulder, and that really reinforces getting that strong stretch. Again, this is a great position to stay in. I could barely survive like a minute in here. No, I average about 3 minutes or more where I feel pretty comfortable staying here, okay? So the bear is gonna start from this. And I'm gonna think about, I lead my hand, so I can go right hand first, I walk forward, right hand, and then my left foot follows. But there are versions of bear where you'll bend the knee, but because we use this more as strengthening, as well as a flexibility, I do the best I can to keep my legs straight. So I think about picking up and putting it down, and then balance. I shift my balance. See, like I'm almost on 2 hands right now. I shift my balance, and then my right, sorry, hold on. Now, as this one came down, I reach forward my left and my right. So it's opposite hand, opposite foot. So reach, boom, reach, boom. I like going slow on my bear. You know, can lumber, boom, feel balance points and shifts. You know, you'll start feeling jiu-jitsu like aspects in here, right? You also feel if you do a lot of bear, there's a lot of shoulder strength involved. So this can be really slow. It's something that I use a lot to play with my flexibility. If there's injuries, I work on them, you know, so you can go nice and slow. I always try to keep our variation when you bend the arm, but I try to keep the arm straight, lock out strength, and bear. So, a few more. There we go. If you want to be a little creative, there's other versions. Boom. We will drop the heel in. You can almost kind of play the rotating bear. You can even drop it in, drop the hip. There are a lot of resources in GMB that I'll link to you guys. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with the bear. All right, one of my favorite apparatus to train with is the TRX. Invented by a Navy SEAL and a Jiu-Jitsu guy on tour. And I'll show you some variations of the belt you can use. And one of my favorite exercises off this is the row. Probably one of the best things you can do for Jiu-Jitsu and all around, I think, shoulder health, back strength, back activation, posture. So all my new clients in strength training, they always do the row right off the bat on the first day because it's just such an important exercise. So I'll start off how I teach it. If you're using a TRX or something similar, anchor points could be as high as you want. I prefer to have a higher anchor point, but I'm just kind of showing as a play demonstration right now. But you can use what you got, okay? So right now it's the concept of the row, and I'll show you how to do it with the belt, but it's just use what you got and you'll achieve the result. So I'm gonna start with really focusing on my posture, thumbs up, and I'm trying to have my hands as close as I can, not touching my chest, but in line my chest, okay? Really focusing on posture. People have a tendency sometimes shrugging it in here. Don't shrug it, okay? This is a back exercise. You want to try to keep those elbows down and pointing back, so to feel it like mid-low back. Chin is neutral, chest is high, and I'm also keep my abs tight and my hamstrings or my legs locked, okay? All I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna drop back, right? When I'm dropping back, I'm keeping my posture right now. You see how my chest is still kind of puffed out. I haven't lost my posture, and I still feel low in my lower or my mid-back lats. Now disconnect from my lats and get loose. That doesn't mean sag my hips. I'm just gonna get it loose and dangle off my shoulders. Feels nice and loose, all right? Now I'm gonna reactivate my lats. I do that by thinking about pulling my chest forward, and then pull my elbows down and back, almost towards my hips. And you should feel a strong pull off your lats now. It's a really good way to activate and learn how to use your lats. A lot of people we train don't really truly understand where lat strength comes in. For you jiu-jitsu people, it's all about rows, okay? Or drags. So when I get that power off the drag, you know, pulling elbows down, right? There's other variations, do a lot of rotation as well. So, great exercise. Okay. Now, simply do the same thing the belt, right? It ain't the best, but you're gonna be in the exact same position, and you're really gonna get some good grip. You don't need a lot of depth. You don't need a lot of, this doesn't need to be a high strength thing. Some people try to make it high strength and be getting, how deep can I get? I think with these exercises, especially when you have downtime, strength as in top level, 1 rep max strength is not a thing right now. What is strength and movement. So learning how to activate in the mind-muscle connection, activate the muscles that you're working, understand what it means to like build strength in certain areas, and it'll help you so much better on the mat as well as when it comes back to hitting the gym. So working a deep squat, weighted deep squat. Again, it's not a strength thing. Think of this more as an opening on strengthening the hips and form, okay? So you're getting a little wider stance, right? If you went through my warm-up, you saw I talked about the deep squat. But I'm really gonna focus on pure technique and fitting inside my hips. So my butt's gonna come back. This angle might be good. So first thing to focus on is go butt back, and then once my butt goes back, I think my knees out, all right? When we squat, I wanna think about my knees are to stay over my toes. I don't wanna squat like this. This looks weird and stupid, you hurt yourself. I wanna fit inside with really good posture, have my hips a little lower, I have my feet a little angled out, and my knees are directly over my toes. The second this happens, or this happens, or this happens, you're putting yourself on your knees at a lot of risk, okay? So this is right now working when you're at home. The kettlebell or lightweight to me is a tool to help like settle in. It's not necessarily a tool to get like, you know, powerlifting weight strong from, okay? So butt back, knees out, drop in. Give yourself a second or two here. And then when you come up, think about leading with your butt. So I add a little scoop off my butt and stand up, all right? So here, drop back, lead your butt, stand up. Cool? All right, let's go, let's do one. That's one of my favorites for shoulder. Full of strength, mobility, and health. And I love the kettlebell on it, but we'll just do basically a single arm press. So if you do have a kettlebell, you're in a rack position, thumb to your chest. And I think about reaching my hand up. So I'm not gonna just like kind of press the flare of the elbow. I try to keep the elbow in path and reach. I really think I can add a little lean if I want, but I'm really trying to extend through that, get my shoulder to my ear. I'm not trying to bring my head to my shoulder. I want to feel like it's coming through that way. And I'm almost like keeping the hand at a 45, okay? I'm not flaring the shoulder out too much. It's really hard to keep it in. Almost like at a 45. And then right back down. So it's boom, reaching each side, okay? My left shoulder sucks, but you know, this is a great one for it because I can take it slow. And it actually helps, I don't know if you guys can hear the cracking, but it actually helps unsettle, you know, the stuff that bothers me. I tend to look at the spot I'm going, but not crane my neck up, okay? So like, I want to see the path, but I don't necessarily want to like drive my head up. Sometimes I tend to not really take a hard grip on a kettlebell. I like to feel like my hands are extended and like I'm reaching, almost like flying. And as I do that, again, I get a nice stretch off the lat as well. Same thing can be achieved with a dumbbell. And with a dumbbell or rack position is I put the dumbbell and I rest it on my shoulder and my elbow is right next to my ribs, right outside my ribs. And I feel like it's almost resting there, but not. Almost like a front squat position. And then the same thing, reaching, back down, reaching, back down. This is not a pump exercise. This is a reach, okay, extend, lock out, feel tension, okay, in your hip too, and come back down. So it's really good for martial arts athletes.